Happiness is being married to a golfer. I don't know how well you can see that then. Top quality, guys. There we go. Hi, thank you for coming to the Taliesin Antiques YouTube channel. My name is Kieran Hughes Jones. Today's video, I'm going to be showing you through some items I've been buying this week. It's a good old-fashioned haul video. I'm going to show you items I bought from a car boot sale, from going around to charity shops or reuse shops, and from house visits. This is where somebody's contacted me looking to sell some items, and I go around there and I buy them. First off, I'm going to show you some items which I've put into my shop in an antique centre, some different pieces of furniture. We'll have a look at them first. Okay, so just outside the unit, I'm just going to show you some of the furniture items that I am now taking down the shop. These have all been bought this week. Apologise for the state of the patio, it does need a good jet wash, this one. Anyway, so we'll start with these. So these are Ercol Carver armchairs. Now, I'm not a mid-century furniture guy. You know, it's not my sort of area at all. But these came available and I thought, well, I can't pass that up. There's actually 5 of these altogether. The other 2 are like this, and then for some inexplicable reason, the one is painted white. Now the thing about these, I'll say I paid £100 for 5 of these. They are extremely popular. And there's always a market for them. Now these are, I think, particularly nice one. They're carver chairs with the armrests, and you can tell that they are just beautifully constructed. And that's the thing with Ercol. There's no doubt about it, the quality is exceptional. In terms of the value, with Ercol, a lot of you will know this, the lighter the colour, not painted white, but the grain, the better, and the really light colours go for really good money. In fact, they're so much more valuable in a lighter colour. I've seen people rub down chairs like this just to give the impression of that colour. The problem with doing that is after 6 to 8 months, the grain will start to come through again, and the person who's bought it will know what you've done. So I would never do that in a million years. This colour's not too bad, it's not too dark. I'm going to price them as if they're a fourth, and then this extra one will just come with it, and then, you know, whoever buys it can do whatever they want, if they want to strip it or whatever. Yeah, but I see these, my understanding is I should be able to get for 4 of these over £300. So yeah, I was happy with them. They came from a house call. So here we have a nice plant stand with the barley twists. What's good about this one is these 2 nice drawers. Little holder by there as well. This came with a few other items which I'll go through later on. It's funny, if you look this up on, if you do a Google image reverse on this, this is what you can't trust. Certainly the first thing that comes up on Google image. There's people asking for over £1,000 for this. Now it's not worth that in a million years. You know, it's a very nice plant stand. You know, and this is a nice feature. But yeah, I imagine it'll be, you know, £70 to £100 I'll be taking for that. I'll do more research and see if I can get an actual sold example. I've never had one like this before. You know, it's a particularly nice one, but £1,000 is ridiculous. And then this. Now, I've never seen anything like this before. Saw it in a charity shop. They asked £15 for it. They said towel rack, which I guess it could be used for that. But I think it's more, like, from the research I've done, it's more like a kind of gentleman's rack, I suppose, or stand. You know, you can imagine putting on the back there the blazer. You can imagine it being like a suit stand. Putting your blazer, your shirt, trousers, shoes down there. God knows what there. Your pocket contents. It's a cool thing. So £15, I thought that was good. You know, that was good. And I see that around £75 as well. Does need a bit of a clean by there, but that's all. Otherwise, in good nick. So yeah, 3 furniture items I bought this week. Okay, so there they were. Now the Ercol chairs, I did a bit more research into them, and this gives you a bit of an idea of how I price. I'm looking usually at eBay sold results. Because I have an eBay shop, I can look back to the last 3 years of sold results on eBay, and I look at auction results also. I do a little bit of asking prices. So this is where I check what other people are asking for the same item. but I don't put a lot of stock in that, because if you go online, and especially if you use Google Image Reverse, usually the first thing that comes up is just the highest asking price, and it's not going to sell, and that's not the price. That's what too many, to be honest, what too many people do and think that's the price point they should be starting at. Or sometimes they see that price point, and this is charity shops as well, and they think, well, I'll come in below that, maybe 20% lower than that, and that's a fair price. But it's actually not, because the asking price can be astronomical. So what I've done with the Ercol chairs, the price I put on them, so remember it's 4 plus the painted white one, I priced them at £400, which seems to be about the going rate, but I am expecting for people to come in, probably dealers to be honest, because there's such a good market for Ercol, and to get knocked down a little bit. I did find some British standard marks on them as well, which is always a good sign. I think they're from the 1960s. They're great examples, nice chairs, and I doubt I'll have them too long. Now the next item was the plant stand, which was a kind of Victorian style, nice to add to 2 drawers. That came as part of a few other items I'm going to show you as well. So it didn't, you know, if I had to put a price on it, it's probably come to me for about 20 to 30 quid. And I put 110 on that. Now I saw the exact one on eBay sold for 135. So I put a price of 110 on there. Again, probably going to be knocked down because it's an antique centre. That's what people do. They always try and get money off. And yeah, you know, so I'll come in around, you know, I'll probably be no less than 10-20% than my asking price. So that's another nice one. What was the other one? Oh yeah, the suit valet stand. Now that's a nice interesting piece of kit. What I found is that it's probably Italian, because again, there's quite a few examples of sold pieces if you go on eBay for, it's called a valet suit stand or something like that. And honestly, the prices they're achieving on there, some, you know, are better than my ones. They have drawers and stuff like that, but those ones are going, I think it was like 200-300 quid. I found the exact one I have pretty similar. Said it's an Italian one, and they were selling for about 150 quid, between 100 and 150 quid. I put 115 on mine, I think, and again that was bought in a charity shop. So there we go, some nice finds there. Now I'm going to show you something else, which is some footage of some items I bought at a local car boot sale recently, and it's just in the car park when I'm just talking you through what I've just bought. Okay, so we've got a bit of live car boot sale action here. So I've just bought a load of things just at the car now, just putting them back in. This is the first thing. I don't think there's anything amazing here. So EPNS, so silver plated lid. You know, it's nice decorative enough. I paid like £2 for that, I think. I just took a bit of a risk on it. It might not be anything. If it's nothing, it'll just go in the shop for about 20 quid. I think I paid £2 for this. So it's a nice piece of Victorian glass. I'm a bit biased towards antique glass. I'll pay a bit more for it, even though this is probably still 20 quid as well. But yeah, very nice piece of Victorian. You can tell by the snap pontal. And it's this opaline style. Well, these two here, that's like an Amari pattern. I don't think they're Japanese. A nice pair of boxes, no markings on them, I don't think. Or there's something there. What's that? I don't think they're Japanese. It could be, you know, they could be an English maker or Czech or something like that. I paid £4 for those two. Again, it's a bit risky. It's nothing massively special. What we got for this brass swan? That's £3. Got a nice weight to it. The best thing is not my normal stud thing, which is this box here. It's like a jaw butterfly. It's actually quite heavy. What is that sticker? Shooter Hill giftware. So it's probably nothing special then if it's a giftware type brand. However, it's nice enough. That was £3. Yeah, I'll look it up. So I went back, had another quick look around and got this for £2. So I'm based in Wales. This will go in my shop. Just a signed framed picture. I don't really know how much I'll be, 25 quid maybe, something like that. Okay, well, a couple of things off the back there. First of all, I realised I didn't actually tell you what the picture was of. It's actually a signed photograph, a team photograph of the Welsh Rugby Union team from 2005 that won the Grand Slam. So I'm based in Wales. Obviously, there's going to be a market for that. Rugby's a big sport here. They're a bit embarrassing at the moment, the team, so that's probably going to work in my favour, actually. People will look back and enjoy look back and remember the times when Wales were actually a good team. The other thing is, the eagle-eyed will notice that I've changed my clothes. That's because I filmed the video yesterday. It was all ready to go. I was doing the editing. My phone said I needed to delete some videos to make some space, and like an idiot, I deleted this chunk of the video. So I got to refilm it. So the video's gonna be a bit disjointed. If you notice that I'm repeating things or there's something a bit odd, that's probably why. Anyway, we'll go back into it and I'll speak about these items again. We're going to start with these two then. So here they are. Top quality, guys. These are a pair of Staffordshire dogs. Now, anyone who's interested in their antiques and goes to antique shops, you've definitely seen these before. There were so many of them made. They were mass produced. They actually were made initially in the 19th century. I believe that's when they first started to come about. And as I say, they came from Staffordshire, with the Staffordshire potteries. And since then, they've been so popular that they were just made. They've been made ever since in big numbers. They're probably not as popular now as they used to be, but they still do pull in big figures, and there is a big market for them. Particularly a pair like this. So these are good size. And also the design and the decoration is a little bit different to normal. There's a bit more colour to these. There we go, give you a closer look. So they're a nice pair. Now, when I was doing the research yesterday to have a look at the values, I found a sale in America at an auction back in 2001 where a pair, I mean, they were these ones. They haven't got a maker's mark or anything on them, but they sold for $600. I'm not saying I'm going to get the equivalent now, which would probably be about, I don't know, I don't know the rates at the minute, but it's probably around 500 quid. I don't think they're worth that much at all, but they are free figures, and they came from the house visit, where I got a few different items from. What should we go into next? We'll talk about these. So if you're from Wales, you probably would have seen these before. Handle that one. So these are grogs. Now, grogs is a pottery based in Pontypridd, which is about 25 minutes from where I live in South Wales, and they're famous for making these character figures. Now, the main market for them, or the main sort of figures they make, are based around, again, Welsh Rugby Union sporting figures. However, they do make popular culture figures. Here we have Oliver Hardy from the famous double act Laurel and Hardy. And yeah, that's a popular one. Now, I say grogs have been going for, I think they're probably 70s, 80s. I might be wrong, but be around that stage. The initial potter was John Hughes. He sadly passed away, and it's now run by his family. They're still existent to this day. Now this one, if I had his mate Laurel, these fetch over 250 quid. There's eBay sold results to show that. Because I've just got him, I'm guessing it's half that or just below half that. So nice little figure. That came from the same house called that one. And so did this. Now this is a little bit more unusual. The animal figures don't normally get as much as the character figures when it comes to grogs. And these they're both signed by John Hughes. They're both going to be 1990-ish. But that's quite an unusual one. The rare bird Welsh penguin. Nice little thing. Little pink loss off the beak, otherwise all in good nick. So I don't know the value of that one. I haven't been able to find a similar example to go by. So when I'm pricing this one up, I'll just try and find, I guess, a similar type of grog, which will help me price it. Just on the subject of grogs, I also found this one in a charity shop. So this is a little sheep one. Unmistakable design. You still see these around, and it says, "Happiness is being married to a golfer." So your own opinions on that. But there we go. Fun little piece. That was £1, and that's probably worth about £25. Yeah, we'll stick on the Welsh theme. This came from a car boot sale. But yeah, this is a lovely piece of studio pottery. I love the greens on it. You know, the lines going down there. And when you look at a studio pottery, you are just looking for something that's distinctive, that will stand out. You get loads of different styles. And I guess you're trying to see just almost like the individuality of the pottos brought something to life. In this one, I love the glaze of it and the different lines. And as I said, it is Welsh. This is from Llangollen, which is a pottery in Wales, in the village of, I think it's a village or town of Llangollen. And yeah, they're pretty consistent. This will be 1980s-ish, I believe. It's a particularly good example, a tall, slender one, with a nice colour. So the going rate for these are around 40 to 50 quid. I consider this to be one of the better ones from what I've seen. So it's on my website already actually for 50 quid, and that includes the postage. So that's a nice piece of Welsh pottery. And I would have bought it regardless of where it's come from. The fact it's Welsh is even better. Here's another thing. That was from a car boot sale, and that cost me a fiver. This also cost me a fiver from a car boot sale. So it's Caithness glass. It's made in Scotland. Marked on the base. Don't know if you can see that. Now, Caithness glass is a mass producer. There's a lot of Caithness glass around. A lot of it would have, you see this swirly design here, you get a lot of smaller vases which are pink. Now, they're pretty typical. I wouldn't pick them up because they don't fetch a lot. They're worth, under a tenner each. This one though, I bought because I like this etched design on the front with the stag. I thought that made it a bit more distinctive. It's a bit taller, and then the green swirl around the back just made it look even better. So I thought it was a particularly good example of Caithness glass. Now Caithness are more famous for making paperweights, and they have a massive range of paperweights. Again, the prices range hugely. But yeah, I thought this was a particularly nice vase, and I think that's probably worth about 30 quid. So, nice little piece, that one. What else have we got? Go for this paperweight. Speaking of paperweights. So there we go. Now looking at it, anyone who, I love paperweights, by the way. They're one of my favourite things to find. I'm a big fan of how they're made and how they're put together and the different designs and styles you get. I did like this one. I really like the blue colours within it. So it's a flower petal, and it's a nice size. It's a nice clear glass. Now I saw it in the charity shop. It was about £1. I initially thought it might have been Chinese, and if it was Chinese, I'm not against buying Chinese paperweights. They're more modern, but they can be decent a lot of the time. But sometimes I thought they could be quite typical. But from a distance, I thought that's what it was. As I got closer, I could tell it was actually better than that. Now it turns out that this is a Swedish paperweight by Pukeberg, Sweden, and there's the sticker there. And it's also got another sticker that says designed by Eva England. Not sure if that came across properly there. There we are, designed by Eva England. Now Eva England is a well-known potter. It's a potter, well-known glassmaker from Sweden. I think she worked with a few different glassworks, and this is, I say, part of working with Pukeberg. Now I have seen other Pukeberg paperweights not fetching a lot of money, but they don't look like this. They're more clear and basic. I haven't seen any with this blue, so I'm guessing the paperweight here is going to be worth between 20 and 30 pound, which is a fine little turnaround for a quid. I'm going to show you a few things when I talk about the house visit I did, where the dogs came from, two of the grogs came from, a few other items in the furniture items I showed you. The mahogany plant stand with the two drawers was part of that as well. Also, something else I'm going to show you in a bit. But there's a couple other items which which I also chucked in as part of the deal, and they're more modern. I'm just going to warn you with that, but I could tell they had some value. First one, this one. So Betty Boop is a famous figure. Now, what I know about Betty Boop figures is that there's a large collector's market, and some of them do fetch really good money. I've seen the sold prices for Betty Boop figures go into the few £100 at least. Now this one I saw on the table. I said, happy for me to chuck this in, and they were as part of the deal. So it's 2003. Cool breeze. I think it's a Marilyn Monroe. Well, it definitely is. Example. There we go. I've looked up initial prices for these, and I think they're going to be, if this one is worth about 70 quid to somebody. So you're not going to, I'm an antiques dealer. This is from 2003. I'm not going to leave it, am I? If it's part of the deal. A couple other things. There's a couple of these signs. Again, these are modern. on the wall. So this is a Route 66, I think. Route 66. Yeah, it's like a car advert type one, isn't it? Again, you know, this is probably a little bit older than the Betty Boop figure, but it's not going to be terrifically old. But this is a nice little sign, which is going to fetch about 40 to 50 quid. I haven't got it's over there, but I've got another one which is like a no smoking sign, which is probably pretty decent. What else have I got? Another sign here. Here we go. Titanic White Star Line. I just used something outside. So there we go. That's a nice piece as well. That'll just go in. And they're just little extras. Nice little areas. Next piece is a painting, and here it is. Now I got this from a charity shop this week. This was 50p. Now, why did I go for it? Well, if you go into a lot of charity shops, a lot of you will notice there's usually now just a basket with paintings, pictures in there, and the idea is you just look through them, and that's what this one had. And I saw this. Now I got an eyeglass on it in the shops, and I could tell it is actually a watercolor. Okay, so that's a good start. Well, you know, when you're thinking, usually I think, well, why you'd pay 50p for most watercolors, wouldn't you, as long as everything looks all right with it. What I also then noticed was this was written below. So let me just read that. So from my dressing room window, Pendion, Curiali, that's an Italian, something Italian, and then Siena, which is a place in Italy. So the painter has presumably been out in Italy and just painted what they looked outside the window. Well, that's exactly what they said they did. The other thing I noticed was this monogram, which you might not be able to see. Now it's been signed with a monogram. That's a good sign. An artist signed their work. And they've actually dated it to the day, 16th of February 1906. So it's an antique watercolour. So I'm going to be interested in that. The other thing is on the back, there's some information. You can see that someone's written almost certainly later on. Oh yeah, it definitely is later on. And it says H. Armstrong Cameron, exhibition 1901 to 23 at Walker Art Gallery, Liverpool, Royal Scottish Academy, Royal Scottish Society of Painters in Watercolours. So what they're saying is this artist is, you know, a well-renowned, known, listed artist. Now the great thing about any artist who was in a Royal Academy, whether it be in Scotland or the English Royal Academy, is you can go on their website and they'll give you the full list of all the artists who were part of the Royal Academy. There is an artist with the name H. Cameron, so Hugh Cameron I believe it was, that matches the date at the period as well. It would have been when he was a bit older. So yeah, if I can establish it was him, he's a highly regarded artist. You know, this is a good little find, basically. I'm not saying it's going to be worth thousands as a painting, but it's going to be a nice little earner, and it's a nice little scene, really nicely painted. You know, I always think with paintings, well, I think it's something I've learned about paintings is to try and judge, is the sky realistic? You know, is the composition all there? And, you know, it looks like someone who knows what they're doing, doesn't it? So a nice little painting, a nice little find, that one. Right, so next I'm going to show you some Empoli glass. That's all right. So here we go. These are known as genie bottles a lot of the time. So yeah, they're from Italy, Empoli. They're usually mid 20th century. They're probably still being made. I think these are older ones because they've got the age patina. I dare not take that out because a lot of these stoppers, I think that's a wooden one, are so tightly in. Some of them are plastic as well. But people generally buy these as decorative pieces. You know, they like the greens. This was from a house call. It's a good little buy, that one. I've actually got 3 from one house, and then I bought separately another one from a charity shop. Can't actually remember how much these came in for, the 3. But yeah, this one as well had about 8 glasses with it as well. That's a bit of a different stopper. Pretty sure this is Empoli as well. The colour and the design, it's different to the genie bottles, but I think it's still from there. But that's a nice one, nice decorative decanter. I just need a bit of a clean, some of these. From this house, this was the most interesting one. I've got to be careful, it's so bloody heavy, this one. Oh, look at him. There we go. I mean, that's a very, some of you will know about Empoli glass, but many of you wouldn't have seen one like this before. So it's really, this is a massive size, extra large, and of course in the shape of a sitting, I guess it's a whippet, is it? The dog? This is a great piece and it's a lot more interesting. And the only thing that it's had to go against it is, and this is the problem with Empoli glass, is they're not like, they're not made to fit as well as you would say an English or crystal decanter. They just have these like plastic stoppers in them and they just sit on. They wear really fast and they don't last forever. So his head's nodding a little bit. It does sit on there quite nicely. It won't fall off if it's standing there, but if you're moving it around, it's in danger of that. But even so, this one alone, so I'll go through the prices in a second actually, but I think this one is close to 100, I'd say, if not over. I'm sure there'll be sold examples where they have gone more than that. I don't think these are the most common ones, and as with the Staffordshire dogs are just so popular. People love their dogs and they will pay extra. Someone will fall in love with that, especially if they have a whippet or something like that. Gotta be very careful. I'll get the last one. This one's slightly different. Just making sure there's no damage with that, which I don't think there is. No, we're all good. So it's a nice blue one. So similar to the other one, there's another genie bottle as it's known. Yeah, that's really nice turquoise blue. So this one and that one will be 60 to 100, I guess, are the two that are like this. The one which has all the glasses, I'm not as sure about that, but it's probably in the 50s with all the other glasses. It probably knocks it up a little bit. And then we got the dog one as well. So I can't give you the exact price I pay, but it's a nice profit from that. Okay, we'll go to the another house for that. No, actually, we'll get this final charity shop piece. So when I got the plant stand and I got the suit, no, sorry, it wasn't the plant stand, it was the suit stand. What did I get in that shop? It was the valet stand, so the suit stand, this. And something else, but I can't quite remember what it was. Oh, it was a walking game. Have I got that? I'll go and get that in a second. But I got this for £5. So you can see all the different slots. I guess this is just like a letter holder. I don't think it had any drawers in it. I think it was just made like that. It's just got some nice inlay. It's not particularly old, I don't think. Just looking to see if there's any screws or nails or anything that can help age it. And the wood has a nice dark patina to it. Yeah, there's some nails. They're all hand wrought, so who knows? Maybe it's a bit older, but it's going to be 20th century. Keys, maybe. All sorts can go in there. Cards. It's just a nice, interesting, useful piece of kit. That'll go in the shop. That's got to be 35 to 50 quid. I'll have a check. But that costs. And here we go. Here's the walking cane. Nice eagle head one. So you see the vest. Yeah, it's nice vintage. Nice. It's gonna have some age to it. This one. Nice casting of the brass. This was 8 quid, I think. It does actually open. There you go. So if you unscrew this, now if you see in there's a little cork. That's meant to come out and have a little glass, and it would be something you would put your spirits in. People going for a walk, have a bit of whiskey or something. But it seems to be jammed, or it's no longer there. It was there and it's gone missing. Could be that. But there we are. It's a nice piece. That'll be £8. It's got to be 35 quid. That'll probably just go in the shop. There we are. Nice thing. Okay, so we've got 2 more pieces to finish up. These came from the same house as the dogs and a couple of the grogs, the plant stand. And I spent about a few hundred quid. There's a few other pieces which I won't show. They're just a couple of modern pieces that I found as well, and they were just all things to go in the shop for like 20-30 quid just to add on extra. But I haven't got them with me, so I'll just leave them. But I have got these. So this came from the house as well. So as you can see, a nice little set of drawers. What we got? 2, 3, 4 times 3. So you got 12 drawers. And yeah, it's a lovely piece. You know, very heavy actually for the size. Now these are often called spice drawers, I think, but I don't think that's what these are for. I think they're just for keeping your trinkets. You know, any small item, I suppose. You keep your jewellery, all sorts in there. But yeah, it's nice and heavy. But that's just a useful thing, and that'll fetch good money. I'm pretty sure of that. I don't really know the price of that. When I took it, I thought, you know, that's got to be 40 quid. But it's really well made. Nice and heavy. You know, that's not going to fall off a shelf or anything like that. Yeah, I think this is just great. So I'll see if I can find another one. Looks attractive, good quality piece, that one. So it could be worth a bit more. So I was happy with that. Now we're going to finish off with my favourite piece of the lot. I don't think this is going to get in the camera very well. It's very heavy. So this was the reason I went to the house. I saw a picture of this and this was the thing I wanted. When I got there, I didn't know about the rest of the stuff. I was going there for this. Just so happened they were doing a house clearance, so I thought, well, let's have a look around, and I bought the other things. And what we have here, oh, that's definitely not a great image. I don't know how well you can see that then, but you can probably see the amount of work and how just how incredible this is. This is a tree root plant stand. Yeah, so it's got 2 areas you can put your plants on, there and there. At first I thought, is that a seat? But I don't think so, because it wouldn't have this and this. I'll be very careful with this. Nice and heavy. Now, I've looked this up. I think it's going to be Chinese or Japanese. Just an amazing thing. You know, imagine this in your house and then people coming in and looking at it, they're going to be blown away by that. But yeah, look at all the tree roots. It's all using tree roots. It's all intertwined. You know, I don't know how to explain how amazing this is as a piece of work. Now, in terms of the reason I think it's Chinese or Japanese is because of the similar examples that I found. Some of these are sold at auction, and some of the prices are extremely encouraging. I'll put them up on screen, the things I found. I'm not saying they're exactly the same. This requires some work. In terms of me achieving that is a different story as well. But this is a very valuable thing. I consider whatever happens, this alone will be worth whatever I paid for the other items. So as far as I'm concerned, all the other items are extra. This is the main thing, and I love it. And it's one of those things I'm not in a massive rush to get rid of, because sometimes I just love looking at something like this. So there we are. What a find. There we are then. That's the video there. All the items I bought in the last week. I hope you enjoyed it. And please let me know if there's anything in particular that you liked, or if there's anything I missed in terms of telling you the story about them or what makes them interesting. Please leave a comment and let me know. And just let me know in general of any other things that have been going on, if you found some interesting items and all that sort of stuff. It's always good to hear what's happening in everyone else's world. But yeah, that's the video. It was a bit chaotic, been a bit all over the place, but hopefully it was watchable. But that's it. You know, I'll keep going out and finding more stuff, and I'll be making new videos about it going forward. If there's anything at all that you want to give feedback on, or if there's anything you'd like to learn about, or different types of videos that you want me to make, let me know. It's always nice to hear. Could give me a source of inspiration. Apart from that, please just subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you have, thank you so much for doing that. It does go a long way. It does really help me out in terms of boosting the channel. But that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. All the best. Bye-bye.